So right now, we're really finding out who's in the MVP conversation and who was like leading the race and stuff like that. Guys like Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, and Nikola Jokic are some of the guys who are at the top of the race. And although I do think they do deserve to be there is a guy who I think has definitely have to be talked about a little bit more in the MVP conversation. That's Chris Paul of the Phoenix Suns. Chris Paul has been having an MVP level season. I just want to give him some props for it. So in today's video, I'll just be talking about Chris Paul's case for the MVP award and just how good he's been. But before we get into the video, I ask you to drop a like on this video as it does help my channel grow. Subscribe to my channel if you want daily NBA content. Also, if you want to reach my goal of 3,000 subscribers, also drop a comment on this video as I do respond to all of my comments. Now play that intro. To talk about the biggest positives and things that are just in favor for Chris Paul to win the MVP. First of all, the biggest reason that he would have in his favor is the fact that right now he is leading his team, the Phoenix Suns, to a 48-10 record. That's on pace to win more than 65 games, which everyone should know is very hard to do in the league. It rarely happens. The Suns are by far one of the best teams in the league so far this season. They even have a 6.5 game lead over the Warriors, who have the second best record in the league. And I just find it funny that a team with a record this great doesn't have either of their two star players at least in the conversation for the MVP award, especially when you realize they're not like a team like the 2017 Golden State Warriors where they're just a super team full with a bunch of stars. So Steph Curry cancels out Kevin Durant for the MVP, and Kevin Durant cancels out Steph Curry. So by no means are the Phoenix Suns even close to a super team. At least one of their two best players should at least be in the MVP conversation. And to me, it's obviously just Chris Paul, because although Devin Booker is having a phenomenal season, being one of the best scorers in the league, I just don't think this Phoenix Suns team is as good as they are if they don't have Chris Paul. First of all, for the first time in a really long time, Chris Paul has not missed any games so far this season. He's been phenomenally healthy. He's been playing great as he's the best playmaker in the league. He's been an amazing leader, and I think he just makes everyone better just being on the court. He doesn't even have to do anything. He just sits there and he makes everyone better. I genuinely believe he's the most valuable player to this team. You take Chris Paul off of this team, they're still good, but they're probably a 4th or 6th seed at best, whereas now they're the best team in the league by a significant margin, at least record wise. If I'm being honest, Chris Paul's numbers aren't your typical MVP numbers. He's not averaging over 25 points like a lot of the other candidates, but he is averaging 15 points, but he's also averaging 10 assists, shooting 49% from the field. Those are still really good numbers. We've seen guys like Steve Nash win the MVP with numbers similar to that, and obviously the NBA is way different now with there being just way more players who are averaging over 25 points per game. So that definitely decreases his chance to win it, because the stats are just so much more inferior to the players. Regardless, in the NBA, he's still putting up good stats. I'm not saying this video was not made to say Chris Paul should be the MVP. It's just to give him some recognition for what he's been doing this season, because I feel like no one's been talking about it. He's been fantastic. We all knew how impactful he was, especially when we seen him in OKC and in his first year in Phoenix. But this season, it seems like he's taking it to a next level. And I honestly think without Chris Paul, Phoenix is just a good team. And with him, they're a championship level contender. Without Chris Paul, this team would probably get bounced out in the first round, if we're being honest. But to basically sum it up, the argument for Chris Paul being the MVP is just the fact that he's on the team that has the best record in the league by far, and he clearly is just the most impactful player on the team. He may not be putting up as good stats as other players, but he has had the most team success while being very valuable. To talk about why Chris Paul probably won't win the MVP, the biggest things in his way is just the fact that his numbers are not as amazing as the other candidates, because when Steve Nash won the MVP, putting up similar numbers to what Chris Paul did, back then it wasn't really common to see a bunch of guys averaging more than 25 points per game. Now it's really common. Guys who aren't even top 15 players in the league are averaging 25 points or more. The NBA is just way different now. When you look at all the other candidates, like, they're just putting up way better numbers. Giannis is averaging 29 points, Embiid's averaging 29 points, Jokic is averaging 26 points, John Morant's averaging 24, Steph Curry's been averaging 26 points. Everyone is just scoring way more than Chris Paul, to the point that he's definitely not going to win it. But another thing that's holding him back is the fact that there's no like hype or talk surrounding Chris Paul winning the MVP. When it comes to the MVP, you're gonna have to have hype surrounding your name for most of the season for the MVP, because the media is who votes for the MVP, and if the media is not on your side, you don't have an amazing chance. But even though I said I don't think Chris Paul won't win the MVP and he shouldn't win the MVP, he definitely deserves to just be talked about more as a candidate. He's playing phenomenal. And I also have to make another point. I know a lot of people like to get hype about how LeBron is playing so great at his old age, as people should, because LeBron's an all-time great. We've never seen someone play this good at this age and this amount of seasons. But people keep forgetting that Chris Paul is only 1 year younger than LeBron, and he's still putting out an all-star top 20 player in the league. Give him some credit, bro, because he's gonna retire soon. As I said, this video was not to say Chris Paul is the MVP or anything. It's just to give him some credit for his amazing season. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Let me know whether or not you think Chris Paul even has a chance to win the MVP. Drop a like on this video to help my channel grow. Subscribe to my channel if you want daily NBA content. Also, if you want to go 3,000 subscribers. Also, drop a comment on this video, as I do respond to all of my comments. And play that intro.